The ecumenical season of creation is a special time in the liturgical year, during which Christians celebrate the wonder of creation and thank God the Creator. It is a time to reflect on relationships between God, people, and all parts of the earth community, and to show our care. The season of creation begins on the World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation, on the 1st of September, and concludes on the 4th of October, on the feast day of Saint Francis of Assisi. During the season of creation, Catholic communities draw inspiration from the vision for an integrated response to today's urgent challenges, as articulated by Pope Francis in his 2015 encyclical letter, Laudato Si, on care for our common home. The encyclical affirms the Christian vocation to care for all of God's creation, people and planet together. The Pope says, all of us can cooperate as instruments of God for the care of creation, each according to his or her own culture, experience, involvements, and talents. This year's theme for Season of Creation, Let Justice and Peace Flow, invites communities to share their hopeful vision for creation. A sense of urgency prevails, due to increasing climate change and the rapid loss of biodiversity, which exacerbate inequalities and affect lives on every continent. And yet, as we grow in awareness and are equipped to discern, we are strengthened to respond positively and rejoice in possibilities for a fairer world. The local community is a place where anyone can get to know more about ecology and the role healthy ecosystems play in supplying clean air, water, and food to humans and all of life. All parts of creation have their inherent value, and healthy ecosystems are core to the identity, culture, and pride of indigenous people, and are important to local communities everywhere. The interdependent relationships in a local ecosystem are a microcosm for what happens everywhere in the Earth community. Columban missionaries worldwide see close up the impacts of the loss of biodiversity and climate change. In Fiji, coastal communities have been forced to relocate due to rising seas, increasingly severe cyclones, and impacts on food sources. One example is the destruction of the otter plant, a naturally growing food staple, as a result of increased rainfall and flooding since the early 90s. Some communities have resorted to forms of agriculture that are not natural to the area and require fertilizers to grow. In turn, when the fertilizer runs off into the sea, coral and other marine life are destroyed in a cascade of impacts. Based on their international experience, Columban missionaries took part in COP15, the international meeting of the Convention on Biological Diversity. Taking part in COP15 was an opportunity to help chart the course for living in harmony and peace with all creation. Columban missionaries collaborated with a multi-faith coalition at COP15 to help get the message out about the importance of biodiversity and to advocate together for a better future for the planet and its people. The Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework was agreed upon at COP15 in December 2022 to address the dangerous loss of biodiversity and the need to restore natural ecosystems around the world. The Convention on Biological Diversity entered into force in 1993. Many countries, including Fiji, New Zealand, and Australia, are members of the agreement and have their national implementation strategies. Since taking part in COP15, Columban missionaries and their multi-faith partners are continuing to grow their networks.